What's up, PhinsTalk Nation? What's up, Dolphin Nation? What's up, NFL fans? Are the Miami Dolphins about to pay, and I mean pay, De'Von Achane a big payday? I've got some mock draft updates and what Adam Schefter had to say about the running back position and who could end up getting paid this offseason. I'm going to read to you two articles, and then... But in the first article, we're going to just cover the round one from Mel Kiper and what Mel Kiper says or said on a specific date earlier this month for round one for the Miami Dolphins after the Waddle trade. Then we'll dive into an article that says De'Von Achane will cash in this offseason with the Miami Dolphins. And that was said by Adam Schefter. And then later on, I'll play the clip, look at his market value, and then give you my final thoughts. 2026 NFL Mock Draft, Mel Kiper's pick predictions for round one. For our Dolphins, who now sit at 11th and 30th. On 11 right now, he has, this is according to Mel Kiper, he has Jordan Tyson, wide receiver, Arizona State. And he wrote on the description underneath, I originally had right tackle Francis Mauigoa. Here, Austin Jackson has played 14 games combined over the past two seasons, and Larry Broom is off to Detroit. There's a hole on the right side of the O-line, but then the Dolphins traded Jaylen Waddle to the Broncos, forcing me to tweak a few picks. Malik Washington and new addition Jalen Tolbert are the top two receivers in Miami right now. This isn't a great setup for Malik Willis, whom the team just signed for $67.5 million over 3 years. Tyson is almost always available to the football, make tough plays and tight coverage. If not for some durability issues, Tyson will probably be the top receiver in the class. Miami would need him to contribute in a big way as a rookie. First off, I don't like this pick because of the injury concerns. There's other receivers we can pick up, and I mentioned one in an earlier video. Right now, he's escaping me. Well, one of them is the kid from Oklahoma. His name is escaping me, and Lemon is the other one. Again, this is a concern I had when we drafted Tua, durability. So I would not draft him at 11. I would go and then try to see if I can get a receiver in the third round. Unless you believe Lemon's not available, or the kid from Oklahoma, or the kid from Texas A&M is not available. At 30th, he put defensive end for Auburn, Keldrick Falk. Miami now has 2 first-round picks, and after it took Jordan Tyson to help replace Jaylen Waddle at number 11, I'm going defense here with Falk. 6'6" and 276, and he has the power to toss blockers aside on his way to the quarterback. He'd also boost the Dolphins' run defense. He had 11 run stops last season. Miami traded Jalen Phillips at the trade deadline last season and then released Bradley Chubb in a cap-saving measure. This has to be a focus at the draft. I'm in agreement with him. I'm just not in agreement. I would pick Keldrick Fox at the 30th. If it happens, I wouldn't be mad. Okay, the wide receiver I'm talking about that I would pick over Jordan Tyson is Casey Concepcion. I would pick him at 11 if he's available. And if he's available, I would snatch him up. Either Lemon or Concepcion are way before Tyson, in my opinion. But getting back to Keldrick Fox, if he's picked at 30, I wouldn't be mad at it. All right, let's go to the article that Schefter had to say that De'Von Achane is about to cash in. And then I'll play the clip also for you guys. Adam Schefter, the Miami Dolphins running back De'Von Achane is set to cash in this offseason. Miami Dolphins star running back De'Von Achane is about to get paid. The former third-round pick in the 2023 NFL Draft quickly became one of the league's top running backs. not only for his game-changing ability as a rusher, but also for what he can do in the passing game. In 3 seasons with the Dolphins, Achane has started 36 games, carrying the ball 544 times for 3,057 yards and 22 touchdowns. Add in his 172 receptions for 1,277 yards and 13 touchdowns, and you can see why the 24-year-old running back is expected to cash in, especially his best football is still ahead. Unfortunately for Miami and new general manager jon-eric Sullivan, Achane isn't the only star running back expected to get paid this offseason. Yesterday, ESPN's Adam Schefter reminded the world that running backs do in fact matter, and his belief, after talking with those league circles, is that 3 of the NFL's top running backs will get paid this offseason. One of them being our Prince Achane. Here's what Schefter said on Tuesday afternoon. Oh, here's the clip, so I'll play the clip for you guys because it's inside of here.
We just saw a receiver, reset the market. What other position group is going to get paid this offseason, do you think?
To me, the group that I was watching going into the offseason was not wide receiver, where Jackson Smith and Jigba already has been paid and where we think Puka Nacua also will get paid, but running back. Take a look at the running backs right now, Ty. Bijan Robinson, going to cash in. Jahmyr Gibbs, going to cash in. De'Von Achane, going to cash in. There are going to be some huge running back deals that get done at some point this offseason. So whereas we've already seen one big wide receiver deal, get ready for the parade of running backs, because that's what's coming next.
Do you think we're past what was it? It was a couple years ago where the running backs essentially kind of said, like, hey, we're going to unionize because no one is paying us anything. But for guys like Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson, who are also catching, upwards of 85 to maybe in certain cases 100 passes a year, like, are we done with that?
When you can catch like Bijan, Jahmyr, and De'Von Achane, you make yourself more valuable, but there's a limit to that value. Even that value, which is extreme for that position, is still half of the top wide receiver. So it is what it is. That's kind of where the running back market's at. But it's, I think, noticeably improved from where it's been in recent years. Like, running backs were written off. They were discounted. Their prices were cheap. And I think Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, they helped reestablish running back values to get them back on track. And they're still low, but they are certainly improved, and they're in a much better spot than they were, and they're about to go up.
There you have it from Adam Schefter. Now let's go ahead and look at the market value, and this is from Spot Track. According to the market value, De'Von Achane is scheduled to, according to Spot Track, he should receive 3 years for $36 million. That averages out to $12 million per year. That's not bad. I would even be willing to give him 13 or 14 in my opinion. Now the question is, will he get traded this offseason, or will they sign him to a contract and then possibly trade him during the trade deadline, depending on how bad or good the team is doing? To me, it's 50-50 if he can get traded during the offseason. If jon-eric Sullivan gets an offer he can't refuse, like he did with Waddle, where we got a first and a third, and we swapped the fourth. And also, it's a possibility he can get traded before the trade deadline, in my opinion. But if they sign him to a big contract, he'll be here in Miami for at least 2 or 3 years, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. Leave me your thoughts in the comments. And again, I appreciate your support. Like always, stay positive, stay on your grind, and go Dolphins.